Alright, what's up, guys? It's Keen Rakusasu here with my boy Keen Flame. Pretty much, we're gonna be doing a new series where we're gonna kind of go over some games, basically showing you an overview of, some builds. To start off, we're gonna do a Zeus build. Kind of want this to be more of like a relaxed, chill type thing where you pick up a few tips and can apply it to your own gameplay.
Okay, with that being said, guys, let's move on to the build order. So this is basically is going to be like a series of build orders, and me and Raku are going to commentate on it. And we're just going to point out a lot of stuff for you guys to learn. And it's going to be very good, basically.
Yeah. So let's get right into this. Just kind of open her up.
Yeah, so starting out, we're going to put 6 villagers on food, one more than usual because it's low hunt and you're going to need that food to advance quicker, because there's just not much as much food available on this map as usual, like other maps. Next up
Right.
is 3 on wood, then 3 on gold, and don't forget the storehouses.
Yeah, getting popped on an aggro build like this is pretty bad.
Yeah, so your third gold villager is gonna build that house for the more population, so don't get pop blocked by that. And after that, we're gonna just put all of the new villagers that we're gonna produce, they're all gonna go to food.
Basically, they made a deal with these hoplites. They gotta feed them so the hoplites can fuck some shit up.
That's basically how it goes, but yeah, so uh, that's basically the build order for the early game. As soon as you got the 100 gold, you're gonna make a temple near a tower in a defensive way, so you can also protect your own gold with that.
Yeah, you gotta Sim City your own base.
It's basically, man, how it goes. So yeah, uh, don't forget hunting dogs, by the way. At the very start of the game, you want to get the hunting dog upgrades. It will greatly boost your animal gather rate for the hunt animals, so make sure to get that.
So, how many production buildings are we making in this build?
So we're actually gonna open with 2 barracks and 2 archery ranges, and you might ask me right now, like, that might seem like a bit too much, Flame.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
yeah,
You
so
got
how
my
are we
nerves on end. What's gonna happen with all this buildings?
we're gonna produce the hoplites and the archers. So yeah, so how are we actually gonna get enough wood to put that down at the beginning straight away? So what we're gonna do is, we like we talked about this earlier, like how we gonna put all the new villagers on food, but like 4 of those villagers that we put on food are actually gonna go to wood later on, the moment you click to advance. So
Oh,
that will
I
give
see.
you enough wood to pump out those buildings fast.
Right, you're preparing. Get the wood ready, stock up. Then you're gonna drop all those buildings and outmass your opponent.
Yeah, that's basically how it goes. And on top of that, you actually also need the 200 extra wood for the Odysseus, the Greek hero, and that's the first unit you want to make when you actually reach the classical age. So yeah, it's really important.
So, what level of difficulty would you say this is to execute? Can our average Joe pull this build off, or is this more of an advanced build?
So the beginning of the game, the archaic stage, is pretty easy. I'd say anyone can pull this off as long as you follow the guide and you just really practice it a few rounds, you know.
Of course.
But in the classical stage, you kind of need like more experience. So I advise to practice this build more than once, of course, and just like really get to know it.
Right. So, what's that little trick you're doing right there with villagers in the town center?
Yeah, so when you garrison the villagers inside the town center, you actually instantly get the food that they were gathering and they were holding, and then it just adds to your food count.
Ah, so a quick drop off to get that upgrading money.
Basically. So what I did here is, like we said before, we switched those wood villagers to the wood so we can pump out those buildings at the start when you reach classical age.
Right. So, in this kind of build, typically you don't want to lose any of your units. Are you going to straight engage the opponent with the first units to come out, or are you going to hold off and mass up?
So it really depends on what your enemy is actually doing. So let's take a look at Teal real quick to see what he's doing. right now I'm scouting to see what he's doing, but my scout will soon arrive at his hunt, luckily enough, and I will
I see you
spot.
took a forward hunt too. That's pretty risky.
Yeah, so I spotted that he is indeed gathering the hunt forward, and what that means is that I can just send my first few units at his hunt and just have some free damage on that and push
Oh
him
yeah,
off.
that Minotaur's gonna go to town.
He's gonna tell him what's up, man. Like they'll have to leave town
It's die time.
for sure. So yeah, they're like right now just like they're not worried about anything, but when I see the big guy coming up.
What about hero timings on this build?
So you're like talking about the heroes, right, that you're pumping out right now.
Exactly. When should I grab them?
So you should grab them right away. The moment you reach classical age, you wanna make those two heroes and send them
Right,
to the battlefield.
and since I sent my villagers to wood, I should have enough for Adi and Jason.
Yeah, that's how it goes basically.
Sweet. And now it looks like you're grabbing a barracks and a archery range. Already auto queuing the hoplites.
Yeah. So why do I not build two barracks, but instead I build one barrack, one archery range, and then one barrack, one archery range? Is because you want to have like a nice, sweet combo of units. You don't want to have the same unit right away. You want to have two options so you can
Right.
counter your enemy units.
Because it'll be too easy to get counted that way.
Exactly.
So yeah, these hoplites are pretty much going to be the MVP of this game, right?
Yeah, what you want to do with those hoplites is look for a moment where you can actually backdoor the enemy his TC because of the
Oh
bonus
snap.
damage. So yeah,
Forest is on fire.
yeah, the forest is on fire. So when it happens to you, you actually want to like move your village right away. You want to move them back and directly find a new spot for your villagers to gather more wood.
Right, we don't want to lose that wood income.
Yeah.
So this build is like low gold income, it looks like, because you don't have that much villages on gold. Unlike when you go the Hippocons, there's so much on gold.
Yeah, so that's the reason why is because Hippocons cost a lot of gold. They cost 80 gold, but hoplites and archers, they cost very little gold. So you don't need to put as many villagers on gold as usual.
Right, so now we're putting pressure on Till's forward, right on his gold and stuff.
Yeah, so when you see that your enemy has a forward gold mine, that means you can go really aggressive and try to starve him in his base, which is I'm doing right now.
Nice. Oh wow, you just got towers too.
Yeah,
So is the entire build foiled by this, or can we handle it?
I think we can handle it by using the hoplites that have bonus damage against buildings. You can actually very easily take out a tower with just one or two hoplites. While you're
Awesome.
doing this, actually make sure that your archers and your hero is in within like the range of the tower, like not in range for the tower to attack your units, but make them stand very close to the tower so they don't get targeted.
Right, because the tower can't shoot right up next to it without an upgrade.
Exactly.
Awesome. So towers does not mean the end of the overpowered hoplites. They're still going to rain terror upon this team.
Basically. So what you want to make sure of while doing this is that you actually correctly micro your units on the right units. You want to take out the enemy archers with your own archers. Meanwhile you're doing that, you want to destroy the buildings like a temple, like I'm doing right now.
Temple houses. Yeah, you're really putting this guy in a shitty situation.
Yeah, I'm just destroying as many buildings as possible. So he actually has to rebuild those buildings, and that means I will be ahead in resources value
He has
wise.
he doesn't have a defended gold or that forward food, so he is really lacking the army count too. Looks like you're outmassing him pretty much.
Yeah, and as long as I'm destroying the houses as well, he will keep getting pop locked. So that's really important to note. And on top of that, he also lost the relics, so that's really favorable for
Aw
me.
shit.
Yeah,
And if you're really pro, you steal the relics with your own heroes, right?
yeah, I actually should have done that. That would be a pro move. So yeah, you actually
Oh,
wanna
nice.
Yeah, you actually want to save your bolt for the enemy or the Zeus. You don't want to bolt anything else if you're up against Zeus. So save that for the Zeus.
Good stuff, man. So what's going on in the base? Let's look at your macro.
Yeah, so because I have more buildings out of queue and units right now, I actually want to have more on gold, and I want to have around 12 on wood to support the constant income of archers. But you might think, now you have a surplus of wood, and why is that? Well, we gotta keep in mind, this is a low hunt map, so you want to actually save up some wood so you can transfer those villagers to farms later on, and that's the reason why we're having a big surplus of wood.
Oh, so you go from the crazy barbarians fucking shit up to the peaceful farm village, huh?
Basically how it goes, man.
Happens. Happens.
So this is actually a 2v2, and my partner was in a little bit of trouble, not really, but it was a smart move for me to come back and actually push green back. And at the same time, I'm thinking in the back of my head how I can actually disable green for the entire game. And what would be the best course of action, do you think, right now?
Hmm. Well, he is Norse, so I know Norse typically have a lacking in power once they lose their drop-off sites. Does that have anything to do with it?
Yeah, you make a very good point there. Basically, if Norse lose their TC, they get set very far behind because they're such an aggressive civ, and usually their town center is wide open to be backdoored. So you can see me actually moving right now to the town center.
Right,
And
and he's too busy dealing with me right now, so he has no idea this is coming.
yeah, and probably in his eyes, he saw me walking back to Thiele's base, but in reality, I'm actually moving to his base.
Oh yeah. Here comes the Hoplites golden moment.
Man, we're going about to like fuck up some TCs this game.
This is what you hope and pray you can do with this build.
Yeah,
This is the ultimate outcome.
so when you see that opening and you can actually go for the TC, you should always pick up that chance. And here we go. So I'm just blasting away at this town center. And what you
So
wanna, yeah,
we all know these hoplites, their main goal is just to smash these buildings. What should you be doing with the Tuxtos?
yeah. So with the archers, you should actually be focusing on the guys that are repairing the town center. So the town center stays down and it keeps losing HP over time.
Right, looks like you're picking off reinforcements too. Pretty smart.
Yeah. So you want to defend your hoplites that are uh, just attacking the town center, and you want to just kill the invaders that are stopping your hoplites from doing that.
Even split off to get some nice wood raids.
Yeah. So what I'm actually targeting right here, like you talked about before, if the Norse player has no drop off points, that means he has no way of gathering resources anymore, and that also means he cannot rebuild his town center.
Wait a minute, Flame. If
Okay.
you kill these and he has no TC, there's no possible way he can come back, right?
Basically, that's how it is, and because Teal was already crippled from the rush we did, that means he has no resources to give to Green, and what that means is that Green has no way of rebuilding his TC, and that means checkmate.
So basically, what you're telling our viewers is this build has the possibility to 1v2?
Basically, this is a very aggressive build, especially on low hand maps where there just isn't enough resources. You can actually macro your way out of this with this build
I
and
might
just,
give this a try.
I mean, you should, man. This is a really strong build. And here you can see that we actually killed the last Ox card of Green. We already
He's
killed this.
screwed.
He's screwed, man. Like, we killed his last hunt Ox card. We killed his forest Ox card or his wood Ox card. And now we also killed the last one. So he has no way of actually getting back into the game.
Yeah, I think he knows it too. He's kind of worrying. He's getting shooken up a little bit.
I mean, you can say that, but like his villagers are just like they're confused. They're just telling around. They're like, "Where is my ox guard? Like, where do I drop off my resources to right now?"
Useless, useless. Yeah.
I
And
mean,
you also look like you're pushing on Teal right now too.
yeah, I'm just keeping him busy. I'm basically green.
Basically, so he doesn't help over at green side.
Yeah, I mean, green just popped out of the game.
And since you've been hurting Teal so much, he had no resources to even tribute to Green to make a new TC. It was pretty much GG just by your one action.
Yeah, so basically, what we are trying to say is that you can change actually the course of the game just by yourself by making really smart plays. When you see an opening, you need to just make that play, don't hesitate, and just go for it.
Yeah, you learn from mistakes, and also a lot of this stuff comes with experience, but that's just RTS for you.
Yeah, so just one more thing to talk about before we wrap this up is that I have a lot of farms because I was just like putting so many villagers on wood, just preparing for the mid game eco. And make sure not to forget the plow. Really good for farming, increase your farmer rate. And actually, we forgot to mention one thing. That's when you are advancing to the next age, you actually wanna grab hand axe and pickaxe and husbandry from your granary. So don't forget that.
Right, to stabilize that income for all that army, early
Yeah,
army.
exactly. Otherwise, there's just no way to sustain that much army pumping out that fast.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that was a pretty damn well played game. Good build too.
Yeah. So, guys, if you like the build order, uh, then stay tuned. We're gonna release more of these build orders. If you like the commentary or you think we should do something different, just let us know in the comments. Or you wanna learn another build order that you want us to do, leave us
Yeah,
a comment down below.
definitely drop a comment for anything you want to see. Really, we're open to all ideas. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
And we'll see you guys next time.